array of object. So first we'll play with one object and then we'll create the multiple objects. Next file will be data binding 8 data-binding8.html. Inside that HTML, then we require call head section. Then we need to have call a script. And then follow the body tag. Now inside the body, they will write h1 object and array of object in JavaScript. Object and array of object in JavaScript. So first we'll write one button. User info. User info on click. On click equal to call the function one. The function one will give the details of a particular user. We will provide a division with the id equal to container. No data yet. Okay, now come next. Go to the script, write a function. Function call one. This function one will have one variable called user in the form of object. And in this object, you will be adding name as a property and Ganesh as a value. You will add mobile as a property, some number as a value, city as a property, where city name as a value, age as a property, 30 years as a value, right? Gender as a property, male as a value, education, edu as a property, and edu as a property, mca as a value. This all the property you kept inside one variable user. User become a object. It is going to hold the lot of property and respective values. Now we can come down and we'll try to read the value from property object and print inside the container. So we'll write a variable data equal to data equal to, you can add inside the h1, h2 will be okay, h2, and you can write there about plus user dot name, about user dot name plus close the h2, about user dot name plus close the h2. Okay, about user plus name. Next, after this, we can write one line, document dot get element by id, document dot get element by id, which id, let's call container. Under the container, we can send using inner html that data variable. Using inner html, we can send the data variable. Using inner html, we can send the data variable. Now after this, we can run this file and button click is required. It will say about Ganesh. So what happen is, inside the user you have a property called name. So user dot name, once we call, it will give the value of particular name. Before colon you have call property, after colon you have call value. We can also call attribute and value. Attribute and value, we can also call property and value. And combination of multiple property and value, once we store in a variable inside the flower curly bracket, that's called as a object. That will be called as a object. Now below we need to print remaining all. So in the data variable only we have to keep appending data plus equal to open a p tag, write inside call age plus user dot age plus will close the p tag. Next after this, data plus equal to close open the p tag, next p tag, and I will write here inside call education, gender better, gender, user dot gender plus close the p tag. Gender dot close the p tag. Next after this, write the data plus equal to open the p tag, write inside age. Age we have written. What is next called? Education. Education. User dot edu. Close the p tag. Next after that we'll have call mobile number and city. We can add two more field, mobile number, user.mobile, and then next is called city, user.city. Right, so it will take all the details of user from the object and construct the HTML, and that HTML sent to the browser. So it will form a output where HTML will be have like HTML, and respect of that whichever the content we have, it will appear something like this. But this is for one user. This is not for multiple user. When we have a lot of users, then it will become array of object. This is one object as of now. Multiple users once we have, then it will become array of object. That will be our next example where we are going to see. So check now, is the printing? Okay. Add one more property. Add one more property called exp. Exp, experience. But the value will be true false. Value will be true and false. Value will be true false. Now how to display this true false in the browser? How to display this true false in the browser? Let us try whether happening or not. Experience user.exp, user.exp. User.exp. So exp also printed called true. Okay, next file we'll create where we'll have multiple users, and after that we'll read the users from array and dynamically we'll form the output inside the for loop or map function, and there we can see that. So anyone error? Okay, no error. Let's create next file then. Data binding 9. Data binding 9. We'll take the copy of this file 8. We'll take the copy of the 8. Data binding 9 will create and take the copy of 8. Now after this, first this object what we have created, change to user list. Name of the variable, change to user list. After changing to user list, this curly bracket what we have put inside the square bracket. Put inside the square bracket. Something like this. So now your code will not work. It will give undefined, undefined, undefined. Or maybe it will say object, object, object. You can try. Okay, number one variable is missing. Variable name is user list. We can change everywhere. Instead of user, change to user list. Okay, or hold on. Wait, don't change it. User list, okay. So next what we have is inside this user list, there is one user now, and there can be multiple users also. So if it is the one user, then where it is? Inside the user list, it is available on 0 position. Okay, since become it's a array now, array of object. So there only one object we have. We are going to place some more object. So first you check once you have modified the user list as well as you kept inside the curly bracket. Okay, now come down, put a comma and same curly bracket copy and paste again. Two users. Property will remain same, change the value. Property will be same, change the value. Okay. So we got the two user now. Next, copy the same, paste again, one more user. So total become 3 user. We'll implement that much. Any name you can add. Right. So we added 3 users. Now come down. When you are printing this, when you are running this loop and printing everything, okay. So now you can't write like this. We have to mention the position. But target is we have to read all the users. So that now for loop is required or any kind of listing function is required. Maybe map function or maybe for each or maybe while loop, do while, anything, any looping is required. With the help of that, we will iterate the array, and after iterating the array, individual element we can address and we can take their value and print inside the page. So for that now, you will write here if variable data equal to empty, data equal to empty. After that, this data plus equal to we have written, we can modify little. Okay, h2 is okay. It will be the data variable we defined separately, and here we are doing this all the things separately. You are constructing the HTML indirectly under the. So next we have to write a map function. Our array name is called user list. So we will write here user list dot map. User and index also. User and index also. This two line will cut from here and will add at last. And we'll make like this. So this is called end of the map. End of map. Okay, hope till done. So what will happen at last? This loop will run 3 times since we have 3 users. And from user list, individual details will go to the user variable. Like how when the first map function will call at first time, it will take the details of first user and transfer into this variable called user variable. So user will be as an object. Inside that object, details of complete one user will be stored. Then, if inside the user, complete details of one user will be stored in the form of object property value, then definitely we can write user dot name, user dot age. The previous example what you saw, in that there was only one user details, only one object under the user. So directly we have called user dot name and all. But in this multiple users we have, so we kept inside a variable and we made this variable as an array. Now from array we have to extract individual user details. So which function is helping us? Map function is helping us. From user list, 3 time loop will happen, and each loop, each iteration, one user details will transfer from user details to user. There, user will be just like the object how you have in the previous file. User will hold this much of information so that you are able to write user dot name, user dot age, and user dot reference. Finally, inside the map function, it will create this paragraph and h2 multiple times. And after that, once the map function is end, the data variable will hold entire content in the form of text. Okay, that data variable you should print once as a alert and look at what is coming there. Alert or better console.log call data. Console.log as data. Now let's go here, refresh your page. Oh, we have to run the second file, and then refresh your page, right click and go to console. Right click, go to console, and after that click on button. See, multiple paragraph is generating, all are coming in one variable itself. So our one variable is holding the details of all the users. So this you created complete dynamic HTML and you stored inside a variable. Now that variable we have to bind inside the browser so that it will give something. Okay, even it is printed in the browser also. Since inner HTML was written, you can see first user details, second user details, third user details, right? So when you are printing the content like this all, it should be inside a parent element. Every user must go inside a parent element. So how it will be, like suppose I open a div tag and I close the div tag in the last, div tag in the last. So every user information will be inside one div tag. And for that div tag, you can apply the ID to handle again with the next JavaScript code. You can apply the class to apply the CSS. You can apply many more things. So again, after keeping inside the division, write for this one class. Since it is going to come many times, so ID you cannot write. you have to write as a class equal to user only. And for that user class, some CSS we can add so that it will be 3 user will come in one line or maybe 2 user will come in one line. Okay. Now we can come to the style part and we can write one CSS line in the beginning. But first you check once, is that constructing something like this? On button click, multiple user details appear and these details are inside the div tag now. For this div tag we given as a class. Now for this class, we can apply the design from the CSS side. This much you can replace, it will give you all the data. Or maybe you are running the old file. This is the data binding 9. Data plus is required. Data plus is required everywhere. One place plus is missed means it will replace with the empty. One place plus will be missed, you try once. And one place, anywhere, you miss a plus and then see what is the output. Data plus equal to is nothing but A equal to A plus B. You are running the loop and you are collecting the value of B and you are assigning under the A. If A equal to A plus, if what will happen? Equal to is missed out or maybe plus is missed out, then what will happen? At last, the value of A will be the value of B, last value. Okay, so in this also, if one plus will be missed, suppose I miss a plus, so last assignment will happen. And what assignment will happen? Only one division. And it will not give anything. Let me show you. When I go here, run my page, see, nothing appears. Only one division will come in there. And that is also closed because everything got replaced by this line at last. That is the meaning of plus operator. Plus equal to. Okay. Now come to the style block. So hope everyone have tried and trying. See, when the data as a front-end developer, you will not interact with the database directly. Data will come from the backend, something like this. This is the plain object. Okay, it is not nested object. So inside this, your data can be array inside array inside array inside array, multiple level of array. So from the backend, the data come like this from the backend in the bulk. Now, as a front-end developer, your responsibility will be to capture those data and it will be in the form of JSON. From JSON, you have to convert into array. So it will be become an array of object. Inside that array, there will be multiple objects. Object inside object, it will be. Then you have to use any listing function, run the loop, and after that, construct the content, how the design was approved by the client, and finally you need to display inside the page. There are multiple lines of multiple function will come in between. Multiple, you can say, classes will come, multiple ID will come, multiple type of division structure will come. Okay, let's go up and write one CSS for user. Style open close. We have a class called user. For user class, we can write display inline hyphen block. After that, vertical align top. The content should print from the beginning. Next, after that, right call margin 30 pixels or more. Padding also you give 30 pixel. Margin padding. After that, give something called background. Some color, sky blue color. And then the color ones. So for user class, this much of property from the CSS will get applied. For user class, this much of property will get applied from the CSS file. Display inline block, vertical align top, margin adding background is a sky blue. Okay, two are coming in one line. Third has not come. Third is okay. My screen was zoom out now. So it should come like this. Even if I go 100%, should be something like this. Working? Okay. Next, after this, next example should be where this is you have read from that array and displayed inside the page. Now same data, how to populate inside the table. This is coming under the division, correct? How to put inside the table. Okay, so we can create one example and there we can see that. Everything will be similar, loop same, all same. Instead of paragraph, it will convert into TD and TR. Okay, right? So working, shall we go for next example? Okay, let's go next. Then next file you create data binding 10. Data binding 10. We'll take the copy of 9. We will take the copy of 9. Okay. Next, after this, come inside the table, inside the body. First, you have to create a table. Create a table. For this table, apply some cell padding. Apply some kind of align property. Next, inside the table, T head you have to follow and TR as well as TH. This is heading you are creating on the top. What are the headings should come? Name, age, gender, name, age, gender, name, age, gender, edu, mobile, city experience, edu, mobile, city experience, full name, age, gender, age, gender, edu, mobile, city experience, education, city, mobile, and experience. Experience. So add this T head first. So this becomes a heading that will be always on the top of the table. This you are not going to change. You will follow below T body. T body open and close. Under T body will not write anything, and for T body will write ID equal to same container only. Okay, note it. So T head becomes separate and T body becomes separate. Now under the T body, we have to put the TR. Multiple TR we have to add, and under every TR, this many column we have to write. Full name, age, gender, city, and all we have to write under the TR. So this task now you are going to do under the JavaScript. The T body will be by default empty, no data. Once button click will happen, JavaScript will run the loop, and after running the loop, JavaScript will generate the content, and that content will be in the form of TR. The TR will be placed here, right? So again, ID container should not be two times. Before we are written for div, you can remove that div tag. Before you have written for div, and remove that div tag. Come in a script part now. Array no need to change. User CSS you don't need, you can remove that. Style is not required, you can remove that. Style is not required, we can remove that part. Coming inside the array, we are generating here called div. The parent tag is div. So that div will get replaced by tr. Div will be replaced by tr in the beginning as well as last. So if the loop is going to run 4 times, it will generate the total 4 tr. And under the tr, what will come? Td will come. So everywhere the heading you have written, you need to remove that and let it be only variable inside the your element. Why we are removing that? Because already heading we have written. Heading we have written. After removing that, this need to convert into TD everywhere. P tag should get replaced by the TD, TD, TD everywhere. So we added the TD everywhere. Please replace that. Then we'll run. Right, provided. Let's run the file. We have table here. Once we click here, data will come inside. So this data, this 3tr is generated by JavaScript, right? This 3tr is generated by JavaScript and replaced under the T body. Under T body, by default, you have no data, and on button click, the function is called, and this function is reading the data from the array, and after that, this list of element, we are list of property we are converting into TD, 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 and then TR is getting the construct, and finally you are able to post inside the table. Okay. Next we need to understand How to add the new element? If you want to add a new user, how to add that? Okay, user list is happening. How to add a new user now? So while adding a new user, you have to take there a lot of property like name, age, gender, education, city, mobile, and experience. Beautiful. Which field? This one. In this, we have to write in HTML, JavaScript. This entire thing you have to write in JavaScript. This everything we have to write where? Under the JavaScript. Here, the data variable you have created. In data variable, by default, you should write till here. From here to till, okay, till here, not till here, till here. This all, okay. And after that, after the loop, we need to close this much. So you have to generate table to table. Now what you are generating? Only TR. Only TR we are generating. Okay, because table is already exists inside the page. And under the T body, you place the content. And assume your page is blank, button click, data should come in table format. Then end to end, we have to create in JavaScript itself. Okay, table will start here in the beginning and table will close in the last. Okay, that way we can do that. Okay, so go to this file again, check one list happen for everyone or error. Okay, now come to the same file and the table align center we have given, put right. So this table will print in the right side. By default, this table will come in the right side. When we click on button, data will be listed in the right side. Okay. Before this table, create one more table. That table align will be left. Create one more table. That table align will be left. Align equal to left. Cell padding we can add little 10, 12. Table tr th full name td Input type equal to text. ID we have to give something. Suppose if name we given the ID. Mobile number. ID equal to mobile. Okay, add some more field. What we have? Name, mobile. Okay, so let's add in the sequence name, age, gender. Name, age, age, ID equal to text. You can write ID equal to age only. Type equal to text. Gender, create text box only. Gender, we can write here call ID as a gender. Then after that, what we have? Name as gender, education, mobile, city, experience. Education, education, ID equal to edu. Education, after that, education, mobile, city and experience. City and exp. City, next experience, ID equal to text, ID equal to exp. PR, PH, call span to button, save. Yeah, so these all fields, please add in the left side table. Your page should look like this. All the field in the left side. This user list also we can add here. One button called save, another button called list. User info button we have in the beginning. That button you can cut and paste here after the first save button. They can write user list. One button will add, second button will list. Okay, hope ready. So buttons is coming in the down. List will list here. Next, whichever the value we enter here, this value we need to collect, and based on click, it should get added under the array. Concat function, join function we can use. So compare the ID. Last ID is called exp. Then next is called city. Next is called mobile. Next is called edu. Next is called gender. Next is dot age. And the first one is called fname. So ID should be there properly. It's a case sensitive, so hope you will maintain properly. If it is uppercase, lowercase difference, it will give the error. Okay. Now on button click, on click, call a function called save. Call a function called save. Okay. Now come up, write the function called save. Function save equal to, not save directly, we can write inside save. You copy one object from the previous array, any one object to copy, and add here. Store under the new user, store under the new user. Now new user variable is holding one complete object where we have some fixed value. We have some fixed value. Okay. Next, after this, we need to add the new user under the user list. User list is the main array and new user is the single user. We can call here the function user list variable. We need to call user list equal to user list dot concat and keep call new user. User list equal to user list dot concat, keep the new user.
Sir, can't we use push function here instead of concat?
Try. First to check this one working or not. After that you can try the post function. Now I call the function here as a to reload the list after adding new user. First to try this concat, concat. Then you can comment this line and then you can call user.push function. So let's add it. Don't enter anything, just directly click on button. Simple, you click on button. First you list it. So 3 are coming already. Click on save user. Something wrong happened. I called or not. What is your function? Save. Okay. Oh, it will not happen. Ask by you are trying to add under the which array? User list array. Now user list array is defined in different function. User list array is defined in different function that becomes a local variable. And you are trying to call the same user list in another function. Right. So here a scope problem will come. A scope. A variable defined inside a function becomes a local variable that we cannot access out of the function. Okay, so this user array we have to cut from the function one and we have to paste before function one, like out of the function, so that it will become a global variable. Cut the function one and paste out of function so that it will become a global. User list function cut from user list array, cut from the function one, cut from the function one and paste before function one. Okay. Late where you can try, there is no problem. But inside, if it is, then you may not access outside. Become a local variable. You have to write where out of the function. Okay. Now it's becoming a global. Whether you follow the late const or where anything, it's become as a global. Const means you can't change anything. Okay. Late will also work. Where will also work here. I'll give the scenario of late, where, and const, all three. Okay, now check this. Is it happening or not? Array was inside. We cut and we pasted outside. Then click on save user. You can see it's getting added. Right? Same value will keep adding. Same value will keep adding. Something like this. So what modification we did? Number one, user list equal to user list dot concat you follow. Then you call the function one to reload the list. Now user list was the local variable of function one. So it was not allowing to add the new element. So what we did, the user list variable, we cut from the function one, and user list variable array, what was, we cut from the function one and we pasted outside. So become a global. Within this file, every function can access the variable user list. Okay, so hope working. We will complete remaining part on next day, taking the value from text box, adding inside, and then we'll see the editing part, then we'll see the deleting part. Right? This file I'll share in the chat. If anyone have error, they can use this file. 10, 9, as well as 8. All three files. These all three files we have in a chat. Next will come on Monday, not tomorrow.